the Team Clear Coat podcast. We're two friends finally doing something about our obsession with cars.
We're probably not doing it well, but it should be fun, and we might actually learn something along the way. I'm Dave.
And I'm Ian, and this is our show.
Ian?
Dave.
How are you, buddy?
Tired.
Me too, because we just had a fantastic time talking to a gentleman, but we're doing the intro for that now. So
We are
the
doing
beginning of the show.
It's now the beginning. It's the before time.
Yep.
We lured yet another person into the blanket fort, and they were here in person. It was Erik Bergman, who is the regional territory manager for Hagerty Insurance in Colorado. And for Northern Colorado, sorry.
Yep. And for anybody who doesn't know, Hagerty specializes in collectible and rare car insurance.
Yes. And but as you can imagine, for someone who works in such a specialized thing, he's a huge car fan.
Right.
And we talked for all of the time.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, folks.
So buckle in, but it is a lot of fun, and he was great. So he will probably be back on at some point.
Yeah.
But enjoy that conversation right now. Hello, Erik.
Hello.
Welcome to the Blanket Fort.
Thanks. It's not as creepy as I expected.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's nice.
We need to make some changes, Ian. We need to creep this thing up.
Yeah, we usually talk about like luring people down here, trapping them, and then getting arrested.
Right. Their loved ones looking for them.
All in air quotes. I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It's a get out of jail free card.
Right.
Well, anyway, we're super excited to have you on the show. And we promise that it wasn't 100% because you have a 1970s Trans Am.
You're going to pigeonhole me with that right away. I swear I'm a German car guy. This is just one anomaly.
You were admiring Ian's R32.
I did. I walked around it before I came in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you notice any parts missing or falling off? Or?
Winter tires still on it.
Yeah.
And
because you never know in
right,
Denver.
Right.
I did Summers today. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I put the staggered setup on.
It's brave, man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
staggered. You're badass.
Yeah, so badass in my old man sedan, my Infinity M45.
It's got staggered wheels. That means something's cooking underneath.
Yeah.
It is. It's
That's
not
right.
bad. It's not bad. Yeah. But anyway, about you, Erik.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are the job title, Ian.
Regional territory manager for Hagerty car insurance, motor insurance? What's
Auto insurance?
Well, they want us to call it just Hagerty now because we
Hagerty,
want to be a automotive brand, is what I'm told. So,
Okay.
yes, insurance is still the moneymaker, of course.
Sure,
but there's
sure.
many other arms. Valuation. You guys have those
Yes.
valuation books I put in
Yeah.
your
And
hands.
I actually have wasted many ostensible work hours on the valuation tool.
Good. That's what we want.
website. Yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. I'm excited for newer stuff to start getting
Yes.
in there. But yeah, I love playing with that the little valuation tool. It's
Good.
so much fun.
Yeah, if you want me to go down that rabbit hole, I certainly can about our valuation guide. It's
Let's
do
talk
it.
about
Yeah.
that.
the book, as you see here, has
This is
months
amazing.
on it. It's
Yeah.
just January to April, I think that one expires.
Oh, wow.
So we do 3 issues a year. We're one of the only valuation companies,
That's
I
all right.
guess you could say, that update more than an annual basis. So
Oh, okay.
we go through the majority of the vehicles in there 3 times a year and update the values.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not just auction. Everybody's like, oh, after a big auction happens, Bear Jackson, of course, everyone knows Bear Jackson.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
Bear Jackson happens, and there's 2 people that have some auction fluid. We know what that means.
Okay.
Liquor. Yep. You have a little liquor. And then you
Yep.
want that 78 Trans Am, and so does the other guy behind you. And you bid that up to a ridiculous amount. That doesn't get reflected in our guide.
Or someone
Okay.
needs to launder some money successfully.
Right.
Smash cut to somebody waking up like a week later and like the delivery truck backing up and just a clapped out Roadrunner getting.
I've had so many clients that have gone down to Scottsdale for auction week and been inebriated and bought a ton of things.
Yeah.
And the truck shows up and they're starting to unload and they're like, what did I buy?
Oh God.
Most of the time they have a lot of money, so it's really not that big of an issue. They'll just have their guy fix it and it'll be good, but
it's the rich guy equivalent of drunk Amazon buying.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, but there's a semi truck that shows up with 80 of your new cars on it and you're like, "Oh boy."
That's a little bit different than buying all of the Mama's Family like on at 2 a.m.
Right. Exactly. But I've seen it. I've seen that happen firsthand. But so the majority of our values come from our own policyholders. We insure more classic and collector vehicles than any other carrier in the world. We have, I think in North America alone, we have almost 1.5 million cars that we insure.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. And so every vehicle that gets insured with us, we want to know, condition. We usually ask you to send us in a number of pictures for the vehicle.
Sure.
So we kind of get a good idea of what type of condition it's in.
Right.
And so really the bulk of the data comes from our own policyholders and what they're buying and selling.
That's
and who's
amazing.
calling us for quotes and that kind of thing. So that's been a great arm for us. We've been doing that, I think, for I'm going to butcher this. I think since mid 2000s, the valuation guide. And, it's a cornerstone in the valuation market for especially classic cars, but more and more so some of the newer stuff that's collectible.
Yeah.
So, and it's a free guide that we put out, which is really cool.
That is. This makes me think of like the British car magazine Car. You always used to have those tiny little reviews and all of the prices, MSRPs, and everything for everything that was on sale in the UK market. And I just used to love pouring through that, just finding all the weird little outliers.
Oh, the wormhole you can go down. And this is, again, just numbers. If you go on the website, you can actually print out a multiple page report that talks about the specific vehicles. Let's see.
Yeah.
It talks about the history. It'll talk about how many were produced, options in a lot of cases. And a lot of vehicles, too, at the end, the last page, it'll give you a VIN breakdown. It'll tell you what the parts of the VIN mean.
Oh, nice.
Which is really cool.
Yeah. I love seeing the graphs.
Yes.
Because I think I discovered this, the valuation tool, it was a few years ago now, right when 9/11 prices went crazy.
Yes.
And I started going to look at the hockey sticks of 911s,
BMW E30s,
and then it's just from there it just spirals because you're just well, what about a Datsun 510? Or have those started going up yet? What about a Alfa Romeo? What about?
I wonder where the usually there's bars at the top that talk about. Click on the Hagerty logo and let's just see where that takes us. There we go.
Hey.
Car values up at the top. There's a
car values
and the valuation tools. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like you said, it doesn't go. You were kind of talking before, and we definitely want to get into this, but it doesn't go to that new, right? So where does it kind of stop?
Mid 90s for the most part, but again, if you get into if you get into something like modern Corvettes or specific 911s, maybe like GT2 RS or GT3 RS or something like that,
right?
It'll generally have values on those.
Yeah.
Wow. So I just pulled up a 1957 Saab 9.3, the whopping 37.5 horsepower, $8,900 average value.
So that is pulling a number 3 value, which we consider good.
Okay.
Number 1 is best of the best. Less than 3% of cars in that segment are number ones. And basically what I tell people is, do you drive it? And if they say yes, I say then it's not a number one.
Right.
Because a number one, as soon as you start driving it, quickly becomes like a 2+.
Okay.
Right. So a number one would be a Concours vehicle that gets rolled in and out of a trailer for shows, fresh restoration, to a high quality.
Yeah.
And then number 2 would be you could bring it to a local show, maybe win an award. Number 3 is just your average kind of stuff.
Right.
The car I bought is probably a 3-.
Okay.
It looks great from 5 feet, but
5 feet is good. I would kill for 5 feet.
I would kill for 5 feet as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's black, and you start looking at it, you're like, oh, look at that. Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with way too high flyers. That's your problem. It is
your
true. Expectations are here.
It is true.
Hang out with us. Bring them right back to
the ones I talk about are the high flyers. When I'm in someone's dimly lit shed looking at their Model T, that T bucket that they made that they want to talk about for 2 hours. That's
Yeah.
I don't talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
If you want to feel better about yourself, I'll show you the rust side of my Saab Vigan.
Ooh.
Because there's a good side and then a rust side.
Is it from the Midwest? Is that why it's rusty?
From Maine.
Ah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back in the archives to learn about it. I won't waste time with it.
I don't
So
want
go
to be
to
the
the-
guy telling you about it for 2 hours.
Go to the current and historical values,
Yeah.
and this is the part that I like. Does it have?
Oh, you have to
sign.
you have to log in now.
Ah,
Yep.
okay. All
I've
right.
got a free account. I'll do it.
Ian, sign in. Well, I always love finding these weird things. Like I just happened upon Ford GT40s.
Yep.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, so $4.7 million for the prototype. Yeah, so like, yeah. Oh my God. I could. I'm sorry. This is going to be the most boring podcast because it's just going to be me reading a book all night.
The funny thing is
Yeah.
our average client is like in their 50s and
Okay.
retired. That's the classic car client anyway.
Yeah.
And I give them, they always want the paper book. I try and refer them to online. They're like, no, I want the book.
I want the book.
So I give them
Yeah.
the book and they're like, I can't read any of this.
I'm like, you're going to hand them like a phone book.
You need to give us magnifying glasses. I was
Yeah.
like,
And then like their kids are gonna have to throw out like 700 of these
Yes.
Oh.
when
Yes.
they die.
Yes. Yeah.
So people hunt me down because these books, again, we'll do an annual subscription, and I don't remember what it says in the back of the book, but I think it's like $20 or something for
Oh, yeah.
3 of them. And so people just hunt me down at shows. They're like, "Where's the Hagerty guy? I know he has the new books. I don't want to pay for that."
Yeah, they're looking for the new book handout. Okay.
Oh, Eric, it's nice to see you. You got any price guides?
All I am is a book to you?
That's right.
All I am?
Pretty much.
Yeah, just a stack of papers.
That's right.
With a bunch of numbers in it. I'm a person too, damn it. Yeah, look at that. Okay.
So this is, if we were to pick a vehicle that maybe had a little
Higher value, like it would be a fluctuate more.
maybe something that's just maybe more in demand. I don't want to be offensive here.
No,
to the
you're
Saab enthusiast.
No, you're not.
Okay.
It is genuinely kind of amazing to me though that like Saab values have just never taken off at all for any of them, like because they're so weird and strange.
So look up
and unique,
you can see the tabs, the second set of tabs down there. You can search by make, year, or VIN, which is actually really cool.
Okay.
But search by year. Let's look up a 62 Ferrari GTO just because that's going to be bonkers.
Sure. Yeah, 62. All right, Ferrari. Okay, we're
Yeah.
clicking on 250 GTO.
Yep.
All right. The S-
Sure.
Yep. 6 Weber carbs. Weber.
Weber.
Yeah.
Weber.
Weber.
Yeah. So there's
Okay, $65 million.
yeah.
73 for the
number
Concourse.
Yeah, because one gentleman purchased one last year, private sale,
Uh-huh.
and paid in that realm for
Right.
one,
Right.
a silver one. Yeah.
So the sample size for the valuation was 1.
Right. And then
Right.
at auction, the record value for the most expensive car ever sold at auction happens to be this car as well, but it sold last year in Pebble Beach for, I think, $48 million before the juice, all the
Yep,
fees and
the
all
auction-
that stuff.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the most expensive car that's ever been sold at auction.
Okay.
But of course, a month before, a gentleman bought one for in the $70 million range because why wouldn't you?
Right.
And then his wife and children were seen driving it around Pebble Beach Car Week, and it went to the Quail and all kinds of crazy things. And
So there's this. I'm really into that cartoon, The Venture Brothers, and there's an episode where one of them gets like one of the most valuable Marvel comics ever made, and they take it out of the pack, the protective thing, and they're reading it, and the value is just like ticking down and down in the corner of the screen. Like in your mind, when you see like somebody like driving that car around, is like up 2+.
But it's funny, these cars, I think they made in the high 30s of these, and the more they're raced and whatever their provenance in that drives the value up.
Yeah.
And essentially at this value, you can't wreck one of these. You can't total one because
Yeah.
It's cost effective.
If there's
to
a
restore it.
speck of dust, they just rebuild it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there was one that sold a couple years ago. I can't remember the exact year, but it sold at auction, I think in Pebble, and it had been totaled twice in its prior life, and no one cared.
Right. Salvage title.
Yeah, right. Salvage title, 250 GTO. Right. Yeah.
The Craigslist ad for a GTO would be hilarious.
Oh, it's awesome to see like 70s or even 80s magazines where they have, the buyers section in the back, car magazines, and it's like, 62 Ferrari GTO, $7,500, and people are like, oh my God, why can't I have one of those now?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If we had time machines, we would ruin this place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd all be ballers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yes, this one is a very high extreme of
Yeah.
the valuation guide.
Yeah.
So there's one that I want to do.
You have to be part of the club now to get
oh,
so we just changed this. We have the drivers club now.
So go. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, wait.
Okay. So you get the 3 years. Okay.
So go to Alfa Romeo, a 1974 Alfa Romeo GTV.
Okay. All right. GTV. All right. I love the GTVs.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is the one that like makes me cry every time. Every time I see it like come up on Bring a Trailer. Why is it doing that? Oh, because it's under. Hagerty does this weird. They don't call it the GTV. They call it like the Junior.
My advice when you're searching in here is if you know the year, what you're looking for, start with the year, search by year. It just narrows the field down a lot quicker.
What'd you say, Ian?
74.
74. Okay.
This is the one where every time one comes up on Bring a Trailer and the price goes up, I'm just like, oh God, I'm never gonna own one.
And Bring a Trailer is, I mean, the things
2000.
The things that they're doing. I mean, cars are going for correct values, if not more than that, because if people get behind it and go bazonk, about it, it's. Yeah.
Do you think that's helped the market, like Bring a Trailer? Because they didn't always do auctions. They've only been doing that for what, 2, 3, 4 years
I think, I mean, I think I've been a subscriber to that daily email that they send every morning. Are you guys on that? I would assume. Yeah. Since like early 2011, 12 or something like that.
Since I knew what it was.
Yeah, and I get mad now. I'm just like, oh, this is in my inbox. I don't want to look at this.
Right.
Because it's all, things are ridiculous. When the Trans Am goes down the road here in a couple years, it will be on Bring a Trailer Faux Show.
Yes. Yes.
So I get ridiculous, hopefully, more money than I should for it.
Well, did you see that an R32 went on Bring a Trailer not that long ago? It was a 2004. It had like no miles on it.
Right.
But it went for like over 40 grand. It was like 43 grand or something, which is more than it was new.
I know.
Which is that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. For a Mark IV Golf.
I mean,
it's
I guess
collectible now. Well, it's a lower production GTI,
it is.
So.
It is.
But I mean, it's the idea that it would have appreciated over this short of time is like insane to me.
Only if they packed in more fuses. Like all of the metal from the fuses that have burnt out inside of it goes towards the scrap value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we're looking at...
So, I wish it wouldn't default to the number one value because you shouldn't be looking at that anyway.
Right.
And people...
$95,000 for a GTV? What?
Ian, you can get a 40 grand GTV. You can get a fair GTV.
Well, but like 5 years ago, we don't have access to 5 year, but 5 years ago or 6 years ago, that was like a $3,000 car.
Right.
Like it's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still in the market, our book only goes through values or conditions 1 through 4. There's still 5 and 6 in the market. 5 is basically probably doesn't run, but is good for restoration. 6 is like you're not restoring it; it's a parts car type deal.
Gotcha.
But we don't outline those in our guide. At all.
Sure. Ian, we have 6s.
We have standards at Hagerty. Yeah, right.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to waste all my time on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's like a feedback loop a bit with your customers where like they see these auction prices kind of going crazy and so I'm assuming a lot of these are like a lot of your customers do like kind of like stated value sort of things.
Yeah,
right?
so that's a good thing to bring up. We do what's called guaranteed value, which is the same thing as agreed value. And stated value is slightly different. It's really confusing when you look at your policy declaration page, because stated value and agreed value look the same because there's a value stated for the car right on the deck page. The problem with stated value is that's the most that they're going to pay you, same as agreed value, but they can depreciate from that value if they see fit.
Okay.
So say you insure a car for 20 and it gets stolen, and they come to you and say, okay, we're seeing the market is those cars are going for about, $13,000. We're going to pen you a check for $13,000. And you're like, but I'm paying premium for 20. That doesn't make any sense. But that's what stated value is. They can pay up to that limit, but they're not going to go. They don't have to. They can depreciate.
Okay.
Where agreed value, or what we've trademarked, guaranteed value, is just that. So $20,000, if it's totaled or stolen, we write you a check for the amount that's on the policy, unless you have a deductible. But the majority of our policyholders have zero deductible on things. So
Sure.
So $20,000 is what you would get if it were a theft or a total.
Okay. So if somebody called you and was like, I have a number 3 Alpha GTV,
Yep.
and here it says that it's $39,500, and they say it's worth $60,000, you guys would be like, nope.
No, I'm just going to want to, I want to have a discussion and find out why, what is it in excellent condition? Have you,
Right.
we don't want to be mean about things, but we
Sure.
want to make sure we're properly insuring them. But I mean, if someone is passionate about it and they send us documentation to prove that, the photos reflect that it is in excellent condition, yeah, we have no problem with that.
Okay.
The big differentiator with us and other collector car insurers is we will never ask for an appraisal. Most other carriers, once you hit a certain threshold, like 20,000 or above or 30,000 and above, it just depends on the company. They'll say, get an appraisal and then we'll insure it for whatever the appraisal says. And that's fine, but an appraisal is $250 on up.
Right,
So,
right.
we're not always the low cost leader when it comes to insurance, but if you factor in not having to get an appraisal, we generally are.
Okay. And in a market driven by such crazy dynamic auction prices.
Yeah.
I mean, then how accurate could appraisals be in such fluctuating markets? I mean,
Yeah. Well, and
obviously
it's-
there's experts, but
Yeah, and the appraiser has the burden to get comparables.
Yeah,
Generally 3
yeah.
comparables makes it a valid appraisal, and if they can't find valid comps, what do you do?
right.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, you look at the valuation tool and you look at those numbers, and there's a lot of wiggle room between them. So I
Right.
mean, it's a suggestion,
Right.
Right.
And with certain cars, there'll be, down below there'll be bullet points like if it's a manual transmission, that adds 15%. Or,
Gotcha.
If it's a special edition car or something, usually we'll have a breakout for that. But
Sure.
there'll be items that will add more value that are just a percentage that you can just tack on the top.
Right.
So it's still very subjective, and all cars are different. Nothing's ever the same, but
Right.
this is a good jumping off point, and at least it gives people something tangible to look at and get an idea of what their vehicle is
Yeah.
worth. Because
Yeah.
we want people to be happy with the agreed value or the guaranteed value that we're insuring
Right.
it for. So if it does disappear, can they replace it with what they had, essentially?
Right,
That's
right.
what we want.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is also, I can't state this enough, a fantastic time waster.
Oh, yeah.
Like this in one tab and like Auto Trader in another tab.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It's yeah, and I get to go through this, and I can be screwing around in this the majority of my day, and it's my job.
It's
so,
work. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's nice.
My
Yeah.
boss might disagree, but that's all right. Ashley, I like you. Thank you.
yeah. It's this Auto Trader and then that Rock Auto price repair index calculator.
Ooh, I haven't looked at that.
Have you seen
Oh
that?
God! If you want
Really?
to feel bad, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's-
Oh
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
see,
man,
right.
I'm learning things.
So it doesn't tell you like the cost of maintaining the car, because that's a very different thing
Sure, yeah.
than what this does, but it tells you a
You have
cost
to go to the bottom.
repair. Yeah.
They hide it because
Oh.
they know it's going to waste all
It's
your time.
for parts. So like the parts, and my car always wins. Not the Volkswagen, my other car, my
Yeah.
Saab Turbo X.
Oh,
It like we did it up against like a Range Rover, like a new Range Rover,
Yeah.
like a 2006 full like Range Rover supercharged, and mine was worse.
really?
Yeah.
So you find 2 cars here. So we'll do
Let's do a 1978 Trans Am.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
I will say I'm a German, self-proclaimed German car enthusiast. I like German cars. I've basically owned just that up until this '78 Trans Am, this blip in my history.
Well, what's your most fun German car that you've owned?
I've just had some A4 Avants that I've had a bunch of junk done to them.
Oh yeah.
I've always lusted for S4s or RS4s, but I've never had that money. So it falls under Firebird.
Okay. All right.
And then it is the 6.6 liter 400.
There was a
Nice.
455. Okay. All right. So that's
for earlier cars.
that's
earlier in the
vehicle
70s.
one. Okay. And what do we want to compare it to?
What do you want to compare? What do you think would be like?
What's a good index vehicle?
If you
Like,
hadn't bought that, what would you
there
have
you go.
bought as a toy
Yeah.
instead?
I was looking at like 01, 02, 911 turbos.
Okay. All right. Let's
See?
let's run the numbers,
Yes.
Ian.
That's what this tool is
It
for.
couldn't be
It's the
more
best.
different. So yeah, like a 02.
Okay. All right. Yeah. O2. How do numbers work? All right.
911
Okay.
turbocharged.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
When they were
Forced
still,
induction.
when you could still get one in the high 30s, low 40s.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you just hit this magic button down at the bottom here. And so then they typically throw a nice, here's the parts for the Porsche are 4.05 times the cost of the parts for the Firebird.
Well, I just made my first parts order and was blown away how cheap things are for a Pontiac of the 70s.
There you go.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was ordering parts and boxes continued to show up, and my wife was like, how much did we spend on this? I was like, almost nothing. It's like $600 worth of parts. And look at all this crap.
People paid me to take them.
Yeah.
Now to be fun, let's do that same 911 turbo against a Saab
Yeah, I want to see this.
station wagon.
Yeah, the Saab.
And because it's unbelievable how expensive parts are for this stupid thing.
Yours is an 08, right?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and like,
And it's not even, it doesn't even give you like the Turbo X version.
Yeah, so you have to factor Haldex repairs on top of this. Finding a Cadillac. What's
Yeah.
the Cadillac with the same
The SRX.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Finding a Cadillac donor car for your rear.
And what's really bad, it has an electronic limited slip diff.
Uh-huh.
So even the Saabs and some of the other GMs that shared that Haldex don't have that Haldex.
of course not. Why would they?
right?
So dumb.
Oh, man.
They're almost equal.
And actually,
The Saab
is
wins.
more. That's
Yeah.
how bad it is.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
We're sorry for your management for showing you this website.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
Yeah.
It's work.
I love the Pontiac just bottomed out. Yeah.
It is, it's so simple and,
Yeah.
but you know what's funny is it is I hate to use the word because I think it's overused, iconic.
Yeah.
But it's such an iconic car. I'm a child
yeah.
of the 80s, and when my parents would go to the video store on a Friday night and they'd say, "What do you want?" I would say, "Smokey and the Bandit 1, 2, and 3." And my dad's like, "Aren't 2 and 3 terrible?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you know, I feel like I have to celebrate their entire collection."
exactly.
2 is ruined by that terrible elephant that they're always trying to haul around. And 3, the bandit's not even in. It's a snowman. He's the damn bandit the whole time. Sorry, I could go down a wormhole. I'm
That's
sorry.
so I've never seen 3.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
even know
I
3
never have
existed.
either.
He's
Yeah.
driving an 80s turbo Trans Am, a turbo V6, so
Oh,
basically
wow, yeah.
like the what was it, the Regal, the
Grand National.
Yeah, the Grand
Yeah,
National motor
yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, and it's got these weird 80s turbo fan wheels, and there's a
I got to pull up some screenies. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I know way too much about.
Why haven't I heard it on that podcast? How did this get made? That's a fantastic. It's
Yeah.
about bad movies. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I love that. Yeah.
One is good,
Yeah.
but you know, as sequels
Oh,
go,
yeah.
it's the
Oh, the black and
Uh-huh.
gold. Yeah. Oh man.
those might even be hubcaps that are on that. Those turbofan hubcaps. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Look at the snowman. See the third picture over there from where your cursor's. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the truck driver from 1 and 2. And all of a sudden he's got a mustache and he's looking like the bandit and being weird and yeah,
Hi, I'm Bort Reynolds.
yeah. Man,
That's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Just these posters, man. Oh my God. Yeah. We need to do more movie posters like that in this world.
Terrible.
Yeah. They're great.
Shark.
Yeah.
so yeah, we just wrote an article. Hagerty just wrote an article about the 7 cars that we're predicting are gonna are going to jump, and
let's talk
the
about
Trans Am is on there. So I showed my wife this as I was like, look, this was a smart financial decision.
And she's like, but you work for them.
And Burt Reynolds just died last year, so everything's this car's going to pop. I can feel it.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. You could use that Rock Auto thing too. You're like, look at this graph. There's graphs.
I will.
They mean,
I will say though, she the first time I took her out in it, I go, "What do you think?" And I was really concerned, and she goes, "It's sporty. I like it." And I said,
"Okay,
really?" Because it's got that big gold phoenix on the hood that encompasses the entire hood, and And my daughters were sitting in the back and saw that shaker shaking because it apparently needs a tune-up, but. If it's running smooth and the shaker doesn't shake and the magic's gone, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but really 6.6 liters, so 400 cubic inches in 1978. And because of emissions and engineers not figuring out how to overcome emissions equipment, it had 220 horsepower.
That's insane.
And it's a 3,800-pound car.
You can get like a 3-cylinder engine that has that same.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Yeah. I mean, the 77 version was even worse. It was 170 horsepower. So they at least added 50 to it in 1 year. But yeah, thankfully it has some modifications. We'll see if it passes emissions.
Do you have to pass emissions with it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it 75?
Yeah.
Oh.
So well, you can join the club over here with...
I can't get my Vigan to pass.
You just need to find someone that has a P.O. box in the mountain areas that...
I do.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say that, but...
I know. Yeah. I do, but it's a pain.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, plus, like, I do want it to run clean.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm not outside with 2 cans of hairspray like, fuck the earth. I do what I want.
No, I had a pickup truck diesel pickup truck that that I brought in to do emissions, and the guy goes, I'm going to fail you right now. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, it's supposed to have a catalytic converter, and there's no catalytic converter. I looked underneath, it's not there. And I said, well, I paid my money, can you just run it anyway and see if
I want to see how bad
Yeah, and he ran it, and he goes, by the output of your tailpipe, he goes, you pass. But he goes, you fail the visual inspection. He goes, go find a catalytic converter, put it on there, and come back, and I will pass you. And I put it on there, and luckily it was just this big round cat, and so we just cut the ends off and slipped it over the 4-inch pipe and welded it back on, and I went back, and he goes, it's there. And he goes, should I bang on it? I go, it's probably not a good idea. It's going to sound kind of hollow, sir. So
as you accelerate, it slides off the back.
Yeah, because of my terrible welding skills, right? Yeah, but it passed. But it's just funny, those little idiosyncrasies. But I've heard with the older stuff, and maybe you know this, they don't put it on the dyno, they just stick something in the pipe and let it idle, or do they put it on the dyno?
It depends on the car, depends on the mood. Yeah, it depends. Are you wearing the color blue versus because they dyno the Vigan. But so my Infiniti M45, right?
Yep.
2006, right? First time I emissions tested it, they just plugged into the OBD, right? Fine, didn't do anything, no dyno.
Great.
Second time, dyno for some reason. I don't know if they just wanted to see what it does, right? It's not like this is a brand new car. I've only had it for 2.5 years.
Right.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Why did it get dynoed one time? Why not the other?
Different every time I take the Volkswagen too.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. And you guys, you're from Maine originally?
Or
your car's from Maine?
My car's from Maine. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we all understand rusty cars.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm from the Midwest.
And you grew up in an area where if you had the means, you had a winter beater.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? Yes.
I do.
So I had a winter beater out here. Right when I moved out here, I was like, oh yeah, I need a winter beater. Well, I didn't know any better. And I ended up with this 88 GMC Jimmy, the little S15, the little one, and had no rear brakes, and I didn't care to fix them. So when I went to the dyno to get it emissions tested, I told the guy, I was like, you're going to have to let it roll down, because hitting the brakes is not going to stop the rear end. And if you ram it into reverse, we're going to have or into park, we're going to have problems when you think you're done.
Right.
And he stood out there, and luckily the speedometer was attached to the rear wheel, so he could see that the rear end was still spinning. And I'm just like, shift it into neutral and just wait, count to 30, it'll go down. Please don't put it in park. Yeah, winter beaters.
We've talked before about how, like, because the booth that they stick you in,
yes,
with the windows. and like how it's like a sitcom with a guy with a father pacing outside the maternity ward.
Yes.
That's what it's like getting your car emissions tested here.
Yeah. I've live tweeted like the panic emotions, like texting Ian. Like it's a real freaking roller coaster.
No, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You can always tell, like, if you see something like not stock ride height, you can find the owner like 3 booths down because you just see their head whipping back and forth in the booth.
Yeah, and there's the other people that are in their daily Corolla and they're like sitting there looking at their phone. You're like, you don't even care.
Yeah, the luxury of you browsing social media during this time and not having a panic attack like I am.
You don't care if they scratch your hubcaps.
Yeah. My Fitbit thinks I ran a half marathon. Good job working out today, Dave. Also, we're concerned about your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
The last time I went, the computer blue screened.
Yeah.
When they plugged,
Volkswagen did that.
They plugged the OBD, or was it the Saab?
No, it was the VW.
It was the Volkswagen. They plugged the OBD sensor in, and then just like computer shut down, like errored out.
Yeah,
because it was like an old Windows XP machine, and I was just like, oh god.
It's like, I don't know, Volkswagen or maybe Bosch actually put some programming in their ECUs that did something a little weird when emissions equipment was hooked up.
I know.
If
Just
only
the
like
worst.
something like that would happen. That'd be, that's crazy, right? Talk me down from this because it's a crazy conspiracy theory.
I can get on a soapbox about that too. We were headed in such a good direction for diesels in the U.S. And then VW single-handedly sunk it, and now we're on this.
Well, but I mean, it turns out we weren't headed in a good
No, I know. Well, he's correct. Although they're re-releasing all those TDI cars now.
Yeah, but they're going to be worse.
Well, they're getting my parents had a Jetta wagon that was,
those were the best. The TDI Jetta wagons.
They were rated
best.
for 42 miles per gallon on the highway, and my dad, he's over 70, so he drives a little slower, but 50 to 52 miles to the gallon consistently, even in the winter in northern Minnesota where it's cold. And my buddy just bought one, a 13 that's been reprogrammed and whatnot. And he said that it's getting, now they're advertising 39 miles a gallon. He still said he's getting mid 40s with it, but it had 30,000 miles. VW put an extended warranty on it, and he got it for like 11 grand or something stupid like that.
So crazy.
Yeah. Those are a Golf with a TDI in it. Oh man.
Yeah. I knew a guy that his job was he maintained MRI machines. And so he would drive all over the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
And he had a TDI Jetta wagon because he had a fair amount of kit.
Sure.
Like a decent quantity of tools, but not like truck quantity.
Right.
And he was devastated that he had to give his up. Yeah. He's like, what else am I going to buy? It's like a Saab station wagon from my buddy Ian.
Smash cut to he's broken down 5 miles from his...
and stroke patients are dying because he can't fix their MRIs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Prius? I don't even want to say that word, but the Prius wagon?
Right?
What do they get for mileage? I've never looked. I've never cared to look.
The big ones aren't that great. I think they're under 40.
Okay. Yeah, like nothing's really jumping into the like high 40s or 50s. Yeah.
Not that you can carry like stuff in.
Right.
You fold down the back seat in that Jetta wagon and you've got you can sleep back there.
Yeah. It was the perfect car.
Yeah. I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah. So what got you into the insurance game?
Oh man.
Let's talk about it.
I don't there's rarely a person that wants to be in insurance. You just kind of fall into it, I think.
Okay.
And that's what happened to me. I graduated from college in 2002, and my first 3 years of college, they're like, "Oh, business degree, when you get out, they're going to be offering you, you're going to have all these offers, it's going to be great." Then 9/11 happens.
Okay.
And then my last year, they're like, "Oh, well, buckle up for like life insurance sales jobs." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to do that." Right. And I actually interviewed with a company when I was still in college. And you remember the movie Office Space?
Oh yeah.
And I walked into that office for an interview, and I was like, "This is straight out Office Space.
No,
I am
run.
I'm not working here."
Yeah.
And so I interviewed. I went through the motions because I was too chicken to turn around and walk out.
Yeah.
And they offered me the job, and I said, "No, I'm I'm better than that.
Nice.
And I wasn't.
Good move, Eric.
Yeah,
Good move.
no. 6 months after graduation, I was living with my parents and working part-time in the bike shop to pay my bills. And then they called again. They're like, we know you said no the last time, but we have another position open for an underwriter. Are you interested? And I was like, yes, I am.
Okay. And now you know how to fix an X9 rear derailleur.
Well, I spent 15 years in the bike industry.
Okay.
So, well, besides the whole new electronic shifting, I can't. I don't know anything about that. I can read a manual though, so I'm sure I could figure that out.
RTFM.
But so that was I was a desk underwriter, so I was the guy saying yay or nay to things for 4 years, and then I relocated out here during that time and got into a marketing position with a different company and was happy there. Was 7 years there. Thought I was happy.
Yeah.
And then I had one of my insurance agents in Northern Colorado contact me, and she goes, I'm looking for a new job. And she goes, I just found a listing for a company with Hagerty. She goes, you know who Hagerty is? And I was like, yeah. Of course I do. I'm a car person. I know who Hagerty is.
Right.
And she goes, they're looking for a marketing rep. And she goes, I was going to apply for this job, but it has you written all over it. So
nice.
Yeah, that was almost 5 years ago. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So yeah, it's been fantastic. And we're based out of Traverse City, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they decided shortly before I was hired that they wanted to put an office out here, and our office is in Golden, Colorado.
That's perfect.
And so I was employee number 1 out here.
Yes.
And now we have about 140 people out here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So mostly call center. So if you call the 800 number, especially late morning or afternoon, you're talking to somebody in Golden, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. Now everybody there is vying for my job. They all want to get out of the call center and be me. So they're trying to sink my ship, I think, actively, but that's all right. I do a good enough job of that on my own. So
they're just going to send copies of this podcast to people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well,
just sneaking stuff onto your computer hard drive.
Yeah.
And then making anonymous tips to HR.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch out for the IT guys. Watch out for those guys.
No, I'm very good friends with the IT guy.
Okay,
We have 2 IT guys, and they're both cyclists.
Okay.
And I've made it known that I can help them fix whatever they need. Nice. So I will get them parts. I will fix their bikes whenever I'm in. Whenever I come in, they're like, "Hey, you got a second?" I'm like, "For you? Absolutely."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're both IT people, so we like to hear that.
Yeah. No. I know how we're the how to make IT people happy.
There you go.
I want my stuff to work too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
awesome.
That's
man.
it's my thing in a nutshell. For a long time, I thought, this insurance thing, it's a temporary game. But I think I'm about, what am I? I'm 15 years, 16 years deep. I think this might be maybe in my next life I'll do something more interesting. But
this is awesome.
Hey, if you have to be in insurance, this is the place to be.
You're exactly right.
To see cars, to drive people's cars, to talk about cars, motorcycles and stuff all day long is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'll take it for sure.
Yeah, that's great. And it brings me to an FMK Cars.
Oh.
FMK Cars is the game that Ian and Dave play on the Team Clear Coat podcast. It's based on the classic game Fuck, Marry, Kill, but instead of playing it with people like gross people do, we're nice and we play it with cars. Ian, Eric, in this game, F means you drive it for a day. You hit it and quit it.
Right.
M means you marry it, daily driver. K means you kill it. You send it to the crusher.
Correct.
Yep.
Kind of goes against company policy. We don't want to crush cars, but I will. I'm willing to crush if it's terrible.
It's all pretend. It's
I know.
all pretend. Yeah, we're good. All right. So I don't really have a good, I couldn't come up with a good title for this one, but it turns out that Hagerty has other stuff. So I was poking around on the website, researching.
Doing a little noodling.
Which it should surprise everybody that we research sometimes for this show.
Yeah.
But Hagerty also has a new product that's like kind of a Turo competitor.
Yeah, DriveShare.
Yep. So when did that start?
I think there was a gentleman who had started it, I believe, on the East Coast, and I don't know how long ago he started it, but we announced it, I think, 2 years ago at Pebble Beach Car Week.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been running it for about 2 years under the Hagerty brand. And it's interesting. It's mainly classic and collector cars. Turo, I know, originally kind of started out daily driver type stuff. I know they're trying to get more into enthusiast stuff, which is great. It's all user based. So if there's not enough cars out there, I know, look at that. The other redneck car I want, that 69 Dodge Charger down there. Oh,
Yes.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. You are going to have to ungeneral Lee it, though.
Yeah, that's not socially acceptable anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I know you guys were just talking about that car, the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
The worst.
Collectible, man.
Yeah.
Sure it is. All right. So this is the cheapest 3 cars on DriveShare in Denver with a manual.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh.
So you can go up here and just sort by
price, low to high. That's when I go to a website, that's the only way I sort it.
Right.
And then more search options. You can drop down
to manual.
and,
There we go.
Unclick the auto.
Okay.
So it is the
These might be-
1996 Mazda Miata M Edition. And I meant to look up what M Edition was, and I did not. I forgot.
I don't know what that is either.
A 98 BMW M3, and then an 89 Land Cruiser BJ70. I thought just like to have just a grouping of 3 cars like that, that's a pretty good kind of breadth of enthusiast cars that you can drive. Give us a little insight into where you live.
Man.
Yeah. If you were driving something for a day.
For a day? I don't want to crush it. Watch, these are going to be policy holders too. And I'm going to crush the cars.
Eric crushed my car. I want a discount.
That's right. It's illegal, sir or ma'am. We cannot do that.
I mean, these cars are on Schmeischmer, not the Hagerty website.
I'm probably gonna for the one day hit it and quit it. Probably the M3.
Okay.
I know that's going to be. I don't know. People are going to disagree with me. They're fun cars. They're great cars.
Yeah.
But maintenance costs. I'm a thrifty guy.
Right.
This is why I own a 78 Trans Am.
Yeah, exactly. We saw the Rock Auto Repair
Yeah.
Index calculator.
That's right.
Okay.
But those are great cars. One of my coworkers had bought a very cheap one last year and was going to track it at High Plains, and went on the forums and said, "What should I do to track this?" And everybody says it needs an oil pan baffle. You need to do that, or you're going to starve your camshaft of oil. And he did not do that, and he broke his camshaft. And
no.
And now he has a 1998 paperweight.
Well, he actually got even luckier. He brought it to his shop to have work done, and the shop left it outside overnight, and it got hailed on in one of those monster hailstorms. And he had.
Oh, you stay away from this friend of yours. You're falling in with a bad crowd.
He made out backwards into mud.
Yeah,
right?
he made out like a bandit because he had it insured for a guaranteed value of I don't remember. But yeah, so the car was
go buy another one.
broken and it got totaled by hail. And guess what? He got paid. So he got so lucky.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So that would be the day.
Okay.
The day
All
car.
right. Okay.
The forever car.
Uh-huh.
Probably going to be the Miata.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Midwestern redneck, and that 4-wheel drive looks good.
Right. Yeah.
But it's at elevation here that they're both going to be down on power. But man,
Exactly.
Miatas on the track are fantastic.
Oh, right.
They're fantastic corner cars, as everyone knows. They're
Momentum
cars. Yeah, and actually, we can dive into that. I'm doing a Rocky Mountain Vintage Racing Club is doing a driver school next weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Whoa.
And a client offered to loan me a race car to get my competition license.
There you
awesome.
go.
So I'm driving an open wheel Formula V next weekend.
What?
Down at Pikes Peak International Raceway. So I'm going to learn how to become a professional.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that. But no,
Yeah.
so that would be the forever, the Miata,
Yeah.
just because, dead nuts reliability and fun and...
Low on the repair index calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would fit my cheap lifestyle to support my cycling habit. And
Right? You could throw the luggage rack, bike rack thing on top of that.
Yeah, or get the
hard
hard top
top.
for it and put a C-sucker on there. You familiar with those?
I am. The suction cup mounts.
Yep. There's there may be pictures of my mountain bike on my Trans Am on Tuesday night with the C-sucker on it coming this
On
week.
the T-tops?
No, mine doesn't have T-tops.
Oh, okay.
I bought the one without
Good,
T-tops.
right?
Well, they always leak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I found out that the T-tops were not originally design. They would build the car, and then it would go to a body company, and they would cut the roof out. And that car doesn't have a full frame. It has 2 subframes that bolt into the unibody. So you cut more of the roof structure out. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not. Because that sheet metal right between. Yeah, that's a lot of rigidity right there.
And everybody says as soon as you put new seals in the T-tops, they leak. They said it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I actually wanted a non-T-top car, and that's what I got.
Yeah. I personally cannot stand sunroofs. As a ginger, the sun is my enemy. And I'm 6'4". I want the extra headroom in a car.
That's true.
Right? So I didn't when I had my old Saab, it was a 1997. I saw like the same thing but without the sunroof.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I want to buy this and swap all my mods over to it just to not have to have a sunroof.
And they're lighter when they don't have a sunroof. So performance oriented. Sure.
Yeah, let's put a bunch of glass right upstairs.
See, and my wife, that's a requirement for a car for her.
Have to have a sunroof?
Yes, but she doesn't like to have it open because it messes up her hair. She just, it's like, why are we doing this?
Just extra light?
Yeah.
I like a sunroof in a car. I like it.
That's, I mean, whatever, but she doesn't have it open.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey.
No,
Telling you down the road.
The only thing that I have mine for is when I have a bike on top of my car, I pop the cover open. So I know if the cover's open, don't drive under anything low.
I, knock on wood, have never done that.
My buddy has done it to 2 bicycles within like 2 years.
I have an old boss at a bike shop I worked at in college that did it probably quarterly.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. Yeah. And my buddy, like, he's got to have like the crazy carbon fiber stuff.
Yeah.
I ride steel bicycles.
Right. Steel is real.
Surleys.
Steel is real.
Steel is real.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. I'd be more concerned about the garage than I would be my bicycle. Right. Yeah.
But that's panic mode. The few times I've been in a car with a sunroof and my bike, you see it wiggling up there at 80 miles an hour. You're like, oh God.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. I don't know. I'm going to be freaking out on Tuesday, though, with that sea sucker. And I won't hear it fall off. That junk makes a ton of noise, and my bike goes off the back. Oh.
What's banging around now?
Yeah.
Something else to fix with a $15 part.
Right. Exactly. 15 to ice. You're not joking. I mean, everything is so cheap.
Yeah.
I've been conditioned by German cars, so everything is so cheap.
I'm going on Rock Auto, and I'm looking up an alternator for your car right now.
Every O'Reilly, AutoZone, all of them.
They have them.
And I have 5 options, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What quality would you like, sir?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, because like the 400 didn't have, like, if it was a German automaker, the 400 would have had a totally different alternator and water pump and everything else than like the 360, right? But not so here.
Well, and the thing that I've learned about Pontiac motors recently is they all use the same block.
Okay.
There's not a big block or a small block. They all use the same block, and they just change the bore and stroke in it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's all just small block.
$32.
$32.
Yeah.
Which this is also what we ended up wedging onto the Maserati when it broke on the race weekend.
There you go. Yep.
Was a small block Chevy alternator, which then broke again because it didn't fit.
Sure. Yeah. You mean the thing that we managed to get with like paint sticks and dowel rods and a few bolts and washers hooked up to the accessory drive didn't hold up?
So I do, we race chump car with my dad, and he has a Maserati biturbo.
Oh, man.
Which... You know,
that's
racing it like Road America. So when it breaks, finding parts for an 87 Maserati in Elkhart, Wisconsin.
Should be in a Cavalier if you're in Wisconsin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or a Beretta if you really want to get sporty.
Oh, yeah.
But they're all rusted out.
That's true,
you never see a Beretta there anymore.
I saw a Beretta like within the last month, and I was like, a Beretta.
I wanted a Beretta. What was the Z edition? It was a Z26?
Z20. The
Z24.
Cavalier was the Z24.
Yeah.
The Lumina was the Z34.
Yes. I think it's... I want to say 26.
I don't know
That's
if
my
I've ever
guess.
seen a Z34 Lumina.
Oh, buddy.
A buddy of mine's mom had one.
Or the Eurosport
Fancy.
Lumina. The Eurosport had that like NASCAR wing in the back.
We're Googling that.
Yeah. Oh. They were still, this 4-door.
Come on the show. We're Googling Luminas.
Yeah. God, I am just selling myself down the river as a redneck man.
I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm from, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I'm damn near Canadian. So.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. So I took Dave to we went to Road America for a jump car race.
Yeah.
And Dave had never been acquainted with the very particular flavor of redneck that lives in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
With like
Because every
the Ski-Doo
state
jackets
has their
and the,
like their potpourri of yeah. I'm sorry, I cut.
No,
into
you're
that.
fine.
The,
Like
the Skidoo jackets.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
you know, just the oh man, the Southeast Wisconsin redneck
Yes.
is like it's such a particular flavor.
They're like two Missouri rednecks combined into one person. Like they're that big.
Run through like a Canadian filter.
Yeah.
Right.
There's Canadian filter. There's a great Facebook page that I follow called "I'm Not Drunk, I'm from Wisconsin."
Okay. all right.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's just all about all the Wisconsin things that happen with drinking. And I was at a bachelor party a couple years ago, and it was during the Super Bowl, and we're in rural Wisconsin for this. We're ice fishing, of course, because that's what you do at a
I
bachelor
was
party
going to
in
say,
Wisconsin.
yeah, if you
Yep.
weren't ice fishing,
Yep.
I'd be surprised.
And,
Yeah.
and we're watching the Super Bowl, and my buddies decide it's time to go to the next fine establishment. And
Sure.
I had just gotten a beer, and so I start chugging it. And the lady's like, "Oh, hun, do you want that in a to-go cup?" And I was like, not legal, but man, I love Wisconsin. She puts it in a styrofoam cup for me with a straw, and I'm in the car. Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
I love. Yeah.
I just got back
Oh,
from New
so
Orleans, so
perfect.
seeing people walk around with alcohol,
Yeah.
like just like a to-go cup, is a real thing out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that-
not
that was
like
a-
I'm getting in
enough-
my car. Here's your
Right.
to-go
Right,
container. Yeah.
right.
I was a rider for the record, but
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
but
of
still.
course.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
It's amazing.
yeah, Road America though is
And the fact that she called you hun, I'm
know.
sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
I'm sorry. Road America.
Yes, Road America is a fantastic place. We have a I have an employee or not employee, a counterpart to me that handles Wisconsin. His name is Jeff, and he races vintage racing a lot. He has a 510 Datsun that he races all the time.
Yes.
Awesome.
And he rocks. Like
Nice.
he won his division last year, and
Nice.
yeah, he's a champ. Way to go, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Road
love
America's-
a 510. I love a
Yes.
510.
It's a hard track on cars.
It is.
because it's just all those straights are forever long, and you're going really fast, and it's bumpy in sections. Yeah, it's a tough track.
You
And-
cooked a set of brake pads on the Maserati in a day? Or a day and a half,
It's
maybe?
about a day and a half,
Yeah.
but we're in like endurance car mode, so we're not like pushing 10/10ths all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it's a rough track, and that car weighs like
2,400 pounds.
24, 2,300 pounds, something
Oh,
like
wow.
that. So it's not that heavy, and it'll still cook through brakes.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you crushed the Land
Yeah,
Cruiser.
sorry. Way down the road.
No,
That's what happens.
The show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you crushed the Land Cruiser.
Big-
That
Begrudgingly.
speaks to every redneck tendency. I'm the token pickup enthusiast on the show.
I am as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lifted pickup truck currently as well.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Oh, it's just an F-150, but I bought it because it was, used. 'Cause
Yeah.
Again, I'm cheap. I don't buy anything
Right.
new.
Yeah, those were
So-
made in my home city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the twin turbo V6 or what
Okay.
they call the EcoBoost. I
Sure.
try not to say that. I just say twin turbo.
Twin turbo
Sounds a
V6,
lot cooler.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's related to the Le Mans engine. No big deal.
Right. Oh. I saw it and I was like, man, 35s and a 6-inch lift? That seems like a great idea.
Whoa.
It's
okay.
too big.
Yeah.
And I bought it,
Yeah.
and with the condition, I was like, I'm going to go home tonight, and if this doesn't go in my garage door height-wise, I'll be bringing it back tomorrow.
Okay.
And the guy thought, he's like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. And the little rubber seal, I had to adjust the door so the door went up further.
Okay.
Because it was hanging down below the fascia, and it goes in, but it just rubs on that rubber seal.
No.
Yeah, and I wanted to go up a tire size, but that is not happening
No,
because
that
it
is
will
not.
stay. It lives in my garage. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I brought it home and my wife's like, that's interesting. And I said, yep. And I took the running boards off because they look stupid. And she's like, I can't get in here. I'm 5'4". She's
my
like, you will
God.
be putting the running boards back on. And I was like, but it looks cool without them. And yeah.
Yeah. It's like how they have to build airplane fuselages like a certain size because they have to be transported on like trains.
Yeah.
Like you can only buy a certain size car now.
And 6-inch lift is way too much.
That's big, man.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
It should have like a 3 or a 4 in it, and it would
Yeah.
be great because it could still clear a meaty tire. And
right.
so before Hagerty, I used to camp a lot, and we'd remote
Sure.
camp, and so that's what it was for. And
Yeah.
now Hagerty is taking up all my summer weekends with car shows. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Talking to people in Corvette themed Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
Yep, with socks and sandals and
Yes.
t-shirts tucked into their jean shorts.
Yes.
And I was looking at Corvettes as well because Corvettes, man, some of them are the best power for the horsepower, for the money.
It's insane.
Yeah, one of my coworkers
cheap parts.
Yeah, and man, I just can't.
The same alternator that you use on your 78 Pontiac goes in like
goes in a Silverado, goes in a
yeah.
Yeah, it goes in a Z06.
yeah. It's no different.
Safe car. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at those, but I just couldn't get over the image. Well, image.
Yeah.
I say I couldn't get over the image hump, but I'm driving a Trans Am now, so I guess I could get over the hump.
But that looks intentional.
different,
Like you could
though.
also
Is it
be-
though? It's a Camaro. It's a late 70s Camaro with a bird on the hood and a lot of gold. It looks like there's so much gold.
The thing is that like you don't drive that not being like self-aware about
Oh,
it,
yeah.
right? So like
Right.
if you drove a C4 Corvette,
Right.
right.
like people would be like, he probably is taking himself very seriously in that, right? But like
Right.
there's no it's impossible to take yourself seriously with a bird on
Yes.
the hood.
Yes.
A
yes.
very
You're
res-
driving a cartoon.
Yes,
Yeah.
a very
Right.
respectable mother at daycare recently. I pulled up and she comes up to me and she stops me and she goes, "Sir, is that your Trans Am?" And I said, "Yes, it is." She goes, "That's badass." And I was like, fist pump in the air.
Yes, got it.
So you need to look up 78 Trans Am dash
Okay.
and just see the gold engine turn goodness.
Dash.
Oh,
I think it's super cool.
oh, there's the silver ones. So the steering wheel is gold. The
Yeah.
dash
Oh,
is
like
gold.
down
Yeah,
here.
right. That's it right
Oh, wow.
there.
That's fantastic. I love it.
Then like Spiker saw that and they were like, we have some ideas for car
Right.
interiors.
But that's just a snap-in panel on the dash.
Okay.
That's not actual engine turning. You know, like in a 20s Bugatti or anything where the engine
Right.
block's all engine turned.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, they thought that would class it up.
No, Saab did the same thing with wood. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little bit of double-sided tape, some gumption.
There's gold all
gumption.
over that car.
Good. There should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, it was just, I came home and told my wife, I was like, a woman at daycare just told me that my car was badass. And she goes, "I told you I liked it." And I was like, "Yeah, but this was a stranger."
Right.
You already made the poor decision to marry me 12 years ago.
different.
Like,
It's different.
yeah.
Yeah.
I bet the 4-year-old's classmates love that car.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
right?
Right? Yeah.
Because it is a cartoon. It's
It
a
is.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's noisy. Yeah.
Very noisy.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
great.
they actually feel like they're in something riding.
Yeah, that they don't. I had a company car, a 70 Oldsmobile 442 convertible that was a company
whoa.
car for the last 3 years.
What? Okay.
Yeah, and convertible, so the little girls loved it because
Yeah.
there's no top, and
Yeah.
that's fun. And they get in the back of this thing, and there's no windows immediately
Yeah.
where they're at, and they're in little holes, so they're not too thrilled.
Sure.
They think it sounds cool,
Right.
and they like when Dad goes sideways, but
Right.
they're like, "There's a top, I don't like it."
Right.
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 They call it the ice cream car. That was the
Okay.
old car too, because
That's
whenever,
where you go to
whenever
get
they
ice
go
cream.
out, yeah, they get treats. And
There you go. No, because it's an event when you drive a car like
It
that.
is. It is.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's why I have the Vigan. It's an event when I usually get to drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many miles do you put on it a year?
None yet. Yeah.
Because it doesn't pass emissions.
We got to get around that some, or we got to make that happen.
I just
somehow.
found the leaking coolant hose today. Yeah. So,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. That's,
I know.
Yeah.
They're just never-ending projects.
I know, but that's why they're great
I know.
second cars. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or in my case, 2 of them, and then they're both broken all the same time.
But you work from home a lot.
Yes.
So your Gulf issues are just oil pan woes, aren't they? And
Usually,
smashing oil
actually,
pans?
honestly, usually, yeah.
Do you
That's
know how many
most of
oil
it.
pans he's been
I-
through?
No.
It's been 3 in 2 years.
3 in 2 years.
Man.
I mean, that's not too bad.
Have you
His car would tear the oil pan on this, and there's no way it would get over
See, it
this.
doesn't. And walking by it, looking in, coming in, it's low, but I wouldn't guess it's that low.
It's not. It's really only under stock. Like it's maybe an inch or 2.
Really?
It's not that. It wasn't that dramatic a difference, really. But Volkswagen really like sunk it down in there, and the oil pans are made out of old.
Is it cast aluminum?
It's paper mache.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's they're thin aluminum, and even the TDIs are known for like
Oh, really?
having very in that generation having very low oil pans that break.
And as an automotive enthusiast, I'm sure you're conscious of what you're driving over most of the time, and to think that you've gone through that many.
Following him on the streets of Denver is insane. It looks like you're following like a methed up mouse that's like darting around. Like he sees a shadow and runs the other
as he
way.
should. He's got PTSD now, man.
So you're a cyclist. I equate it to riding a like not just a fixed gear bike,
Right.
but like a proper velodrome track bike on urban streets, right? Because like on a track, it's perfect,
Right.
But you take it out of that, and for the love of God, you have a lot of management to do just to get to from point A to B.
A couple of them have been like on roads that I know. Mm-hmm. 2 of the 3 have been on roads that I know, and like
known safe routes,
and like they've gotten worse.
Oh.
Like one of them was a construction thing where like they had scraped the road, but like left the manhole covers were raised up from the road surface, and it was at night.
Oh.
And so like I'm behind someone, and then all of a sudden there's a manhole, and then I'm airborne. You know, like literally it threw the car up in the air.
Have you ever hit the crank? Like, has it ever? No, man.
That's what the oil pan's for.
The oil pan.
That's the crumple zone for the crankshaft.
I have a stainless steel skid plate on too.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah, I
have you
haven't
done anything to try and mitigate
I have
this?
the beefiest skid plate on the market, and it's still like that one. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, the oil pan shattered." I left a trail. I was luckily only like a mile from my house uphill, so I like coasted home, and it left a trail of oil.
They had to pave the street to hide it.
They did.
I'm
they
not
repaved
kidding.
the street right after I did it, and I was like, "Oh, thank God!"
Thank
'Cause
God.
It was a mile-long trail of oil that led straight to my house.
You could find Ian in Denver by following the oil. It was like the yellow brick road, but it was just Ian's shame path.
Yeah. It just leads to disappointment.
Enough
Anyway, I
about
want to
us.
change
Yes, I'm sorry.
the subject. Okay, so I have another FMK cars,
Okay.
but it's kind of based on the idea that I'm guessing that people now that you have this job probably ask you for advice on like what car to buy next, like what's gonna be valued, right? So this one is called "Do As I Say, Not As I Do." So in this one, you get 2 cars. You get a new classic that you get to drive, that's yours, and a corresponding car that you recommend to everyone who asks you that question, and that one is less classic. All right, so you'll see where we're going with this.
I'm very interested to hear this.
Okay, so the first one that you get to drive is a 2019 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 350R.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I've
definitely going to
driven
be
one. They're fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have not.
High
I'm
Plains.
jealous.
Shelby GT.
Oh, you drove one at High Plains?
Yeah, I had a client telling me to drive it and yelling at me to go faster. And when I take a client's car out, I never push it because I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But he's screaming at me in the passenger seat, telling me to,
Yeah,
many expletives, go faster, you, blank, blank. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
you roll it, and then he's like sitting there in the car, like, I wonder if my insurance is going to pay for this.
Sir?
Yeah. So you said the GT 350, right?
The 350R.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
However,
Okay.
the catch is that you recommend as a new class, as a sound investment to everyone that you meet, the Mustang 2.
Ooh.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
Your
it came
image
with
is
a-
going to get tainted.
So now
Came with a 302. Some of them.
You get
And
the
like 74 horsepower.
70s cars, man.
you
Yeah,
get
right.
you get the idea here. You got to kind of balance like your own personal enjoyment with your reputation. Right?
Okay.
So how am I going to sell this, huh? To someone?
All right.
Yep.
So the next one, the car you get to drive is a 2011 Saab 9.5.
Ooh.
One of my favorites. I'm
Is
gonna
that the,
own one.
when was the last, what was the,
the
year
last
the last
one.
one? Oh, yeah, that's a gorgeous car.
Isn't it?
Beautiful,
Yes.
right?
Especially like the arrow in any other color but black. Because then you lose that floating roof with black.
Yeah, I actually really
Yeah.
like that like silver.
This is the best because it has the arrow bumper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, instead
When
of
you
like
see
the
one of
standard-
those on the road, it's like, stop everything. I want to look at it because they're How many have actually made it out?
So before I got my Infiniti M45, I was shopping for these. Okay, so I wanted a 4-cylinder turbo because I didn't want all-wheel drive Haldex. Right. I didn't want the V6 turbo because it's just a lot. Right. I'm good enough with the 2.3.
Yep. And it's not a very good engine.
Right.
Ask me how I know.
I didn't want to replace coil packs like I changed socks.
Yeah.
Right. So I was looking for anything except a black one.
Right.
Right. There were 11 that were brought to America.
What?
With a manual transmission.
Oh, yeah. Of
With a
course.
manual.
11.
That was why I couldn't find one on Auto Trader.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 in 11.
Exactly. Right.
Oh.
So Hagerty. I have
that
this
crazy?
Saab. Yeah. So a friend of mine recommended the M45, and I was like, oh shit, why haven't I looked at this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you give me 335 horsepower V8, sure, and Japanese luxury, which I love.
Right.
Right.
And reliability, hopefully.
Oh, so much reliability that when it threw the idler bearing, because I neglected to change it, it's not in the timing cover. There's a special bracket that holds it out from the timing cover so that when it shears off, it just breaks on that bracket and it doesn't damage anything else.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should see the skid plate in front of the oil pan. Like, it's like
I'm still in your camp, even R32, man. Those are sweet.
I love his R32.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I would add an inch of ride height to it. Yeah. But I love it.
But then you're going to lose the look.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I want to drive it and survive.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is what you get to drive.
We're giving you this guy.
And then you kind of get the idea where you're going to get something that's sort of related to it.
Yep.
The car you're going to recommend to people as a great investment is a Cadillac Catera.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Were those
about those,
rear
right?
drivers? Or no, they were front drivers.
They were front drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
CATTERA?
It's just one T,
right?
one
Yeah.
R.
Oh,
Yeah.
Google. You're
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's I mean, not a good looking car.
No, it's not.
What was it based on? It had to be off of some other...
It was another, I think it was like another like Opel sharing thing.
Yeah,
Which
Opel
is why,
Omega.
yeah. Which is
Vauxhall
why I thought
Omega.
it was, kind of related to the Saab 9.5 because that platform lived on in some later GM things.
Don't you love it when the Wikipedia picture for the car has something wrong with it, like this like bumper damage, right?
The bumper gap is off.
Yeah. Look, that has had a little bit of an impact there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, somebody grocery carted that thing.
Yeah, when no one cares enough to upload a good picture to
Right?
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
it's an unloved car.
So you get a 9.5
Yeah.
and you recommend a Cadillac Catera.
It's a hard sell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The last one
Okay.
is you get a Honda S2000
Ooh.
Yeah.
and then you have to recommend,
Oh, what's this?
and I can't believe this is going full circle because I did write this before we started this, a Chevy Cavalier convertible.
Ah.
the Chevy Cavalier convertible.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be another Roadster.
Sporty.
Sporty Roadster, just like the Honda S2000. They're pretty much the same car.
Wow.
I know.
Wildly offensive.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Offensive.
Yeah. I knew.
Oh, I'll take a Z25.
Yeah.
You get that.
Eric
You can
would
have
take
that
that.
one.
You can have
You
the Z24
but
body
you don't
color
get
wheels.
it. You're
No,
recommending.
I don't recommend. That's true.
Yeah.
that this is going to be a good investment.
Yeah.
That's a European one too, because look at the plates.
Oh, yeah. The plate behind it. on
Oh,
the Golf.
wow. Bad decisions happened overseas
Yeah,
as well.
what?
Yeah.
Who imported that?
Yeah.
That 100% has a David Hasselhoff tape in the tape deck.
Absolutely.
Zero questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And goes to the McDonald's drive-through every time it's driven.
Yes.
Man. So, FMK on these three groups, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the Shelby GT350R and the Mustang 2, the 9.5 and the Catera, or the S2000 and the Cavalier convertible.
I feel like my decisions on this are going to weigh heavily on what I'm recommending
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
because
What could you and so like the F would be you only have to recommend it for a day. Right? So you got to do like a weekend car show with it, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The people that approach you like for books, Where's my book,
Right.
man?
Oh, you're getting a Catera all day long.
Well, and my thinking with the Catera was too, like it's new enough that like someone could think like, maybe though.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not outlandish.
That's true.
right? It's like uncanny
Cadillac.
value of collectibles.
Right.
See, and the funny thing is,
Good work.
the thing that I've learned in this job is there's someone that collects
Everything. Everything.
everything.
Though, somebody has to collect the most boring, mundane 1992 Ford Probe enthusiast,
Yep.
right?
There's a gentleman down in Elizabeth Parker area that has a big collection of cars. It's called the Rambler Ranch.
oh, yeah. I know about the
you ever
Rambler
been there?
Ranch. No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the Nash Rambler Ranch, right?
Yeah, so he likes
Yeah.
to collect orphan cars, and his three marks are Nash, Rambler, and AMC are the three main marks that he collects.
Yeah.
He has over 70 AMC Eagles, those wagons.
We
Yes.
love those cars. My grandparents had one.
Yeah?
And I used to, it was brown on brown on brown.
As it should be.
And then there was
the
another.
good
Did it have
Lord intended.
the wood tape on the side?
It didn't. No, it was just deep poop brown.
Right.
Uh-huh.
With poop brown interior. And that thing was, my grandfather was a nutcase behind the wheel. Like he grew
Yeah.
up like racing motorcycles and stuff. And that thing was just indestructible. It was amazing.
It's just amazing that he's amassed
Yeah.
70 of them.
Yeah. This is one of our Instagram friends. I am Castillo. He's got a lifted AMC Eagle
That's awesome.
that you may have seen around Denver.
I saw it at O'Reilly's last week.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name is Jolene.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where do you guys stand on naming of vehicles?
I've only named one. My
Okay.
previous Saab, 1997, 5-door, 900 turbo. I had it like 285 horsepower, stage 3.
whoa.
It was
Buckle up.
stock,
It was terrifying.
stock suspension.
And brakes, I assume?
Yeah.
Of course.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But I called that car Dusty Rusty. That was just it.
All right.
Only one I've ever named.
Okay.
I think if you have to think about the name for the car,
Yeah.
then it's not allowed.
Right.
And I hate like the she, like
Yeah,
she's a salty,
Yeah.
yeah.
They just make it weird.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Right.
That's every Saturday.
But like
I was gonna say, yeah, you run into a lot of that.
right.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if the car has such a strong personality that like it's immediately apparent what the car's name is,
Right.
then yes, you go with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
You?
I've never named a car.
Okay. Yeah.
They just, I don't know.
yeah.
They always, you refer to them somehow, but it's usually by the model or something.
Right. Yeah.
Or the truck or
right.
Right.
Yeah.
the girls called the convertible the 442.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I called it the 432 because the 442 is supposed to be 4-barrel.
Oh, I was gonna see if I could name it. Yeah.
Yeah, 4-barrel.
4 bucket seats.
Nope.
No?
Well, it was 400 or 455, 4-barrel, and dual exhaust. is
Oh,
what it's-
okay.
Or 4-speed sometimes. There's varying opinions.
Yeah, yeah.
But they actually made, if you look it up, they made way more 3-speed automatic 442s than they did 4-speeds.
Okay.
And so we called it the 432 because it was an automatic.
Nice. Okay.
It was, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, back to this. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No.
I'm
yeah.
recommend, life.
Would you call me calling my Infinity the old man sedan a name? Like that's just what I call it.
Yeah,
the old man sedan.
that's not a name.
That speaks more to me than it does anything
I
else.
don't think it's an old man sedan.
It is.
It gets a lot worse though than that. It can get a lot worse
Oh
than
yeah,
that.
yeah. I could have an M35. That would be a definite old man sedan. Anyway.
Okay.
yeah, I digress.
So I think, boy, every day it would be, I would get in a lot of trouble if I had that Mustang.
That's what my thought was. Like I think you recommending the Mustang 2 to your current customers as they are today, like to your
You would
Saturday
be tarred and feathered.
There's a hardcore faction of people that collect Mustang 2s though.
I was gonna say, from a looks perspective, I'm 100% behind it.
Well, if you get it with
yes,
if you get it with the 302, it's it's good. If you get the 4-cylinder one, that's a tough pill to swallow.
yeah,
My mom had the 4-cylinder one.
Yeah. Well, it was an economy car, and it was the 7. Yeah, let's see that. Cobra 2?
Yeah.
Slot mags? Man,
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, all day.
He disagrees heavily.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
That's from Hagerty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Hagerty
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an upcoming road tour I'm doing in May, and I needed a car.
Okay.
And this is before the TA purchase, and there's been a lingering Mustang 2 clone on Facebook Marketplace for a reasonable amount of money, and I figured I would just buy it, drive it, and kick it down the road.
Then
but
turn it around.
It's still on Facebook Marketplace for a reason, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. So that's another window into my terrible car taste. I think for the day, man, this is tough. I think it's going to have to be the Mustang.
Okay.
For the day.
Okay.
For the
Right. Yeah.
You just have one rough Saturday
Yeah.
with the
Jimmy
core-
Buffett
and
enthusiast.
it'll
are gonna
be
mad.
it'll be an all Chevy show or something like that.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Be all Camaro guys that
Oh
want to tar
man.
and feather
And
me.
they'll be so mad.
And you got to be like, I'm telling you, man, don't sleep
Right.
on the Mustang
Yeah.
too.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to drive that government motors Camaro you're driving. No, I'll shoot me. Yeah, and then I think the Mary would have to be the sub because I want that
Really?
9.5, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to own one at one point. It's going to disappoint me. It's going to not be great. Stuff's going to fall off the interior and exterior, but I love the way it looks.
But that means I got to recommend. Oh boy,
The Katera.
I'm gonna have to look for a new job.
And you're going to be like, and look, if you can find one with the front quarter panel where you see extra bumper,
If you want to look really awesome at car shows, you should get the Opel grill for it.
yeah, there you go.
Right, yeah.
Then people think you imported it.
Yep.
Real
nice.
classy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I'm sad that I have to crush the S2000 because those are
Yeah.
fantastic cars.
I've never driven one.
Oh my god.
I love them
Yeah.
so
Oh.
much. They're so much
Yeah,
fun.
50-50 weight distribution, as long as you get used to the revving the crap out of it.
Right,
and VTEC!
Yeah.
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 And my friend wrapped one around, or put one in a ditch because of VTEC. And,
Okay.
Yeah. May have been some cocktails involved, but yeah, that...
I have a really good S2000 crash story that I'll tell after we're done
Okay.
here. That involves insurance, actually. And
hopefully not fraud. But yeah, man, I for as much as I wanted a Cavalier, there was a Cavalier Z24 at Bob's Auto Ranch when I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
Black
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
This is before I fell in love with German cars.
Okay.
Silver on the bottom. It was not a convertible. I'm not a convertible guy. And my neighbor down the street, I told him about it. I was like, I'm going to go look at that car. And
Okay.
he went and bought it.
No way.
This is my buddy.
Son of a.
Yep. And I was like, you son of a
and then
bitch.
you lit it on fire, and that's why you had to
No,
do
and then
time.
he had it, and then I found my Passat and Jettas and things later on, and I was like, man, I dodged a bullet. Thank you.
Yeah.
sir,
Yeah.
For,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I mean, it looked good, but then he wedged it in the snowbank, and the ground effects were off on one
Yeah.
side, and it looked like trash. And
Yep.
Do you now look back at that as like, because we all have these like kind of like mundane things in our life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you think like that was a fork in the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would still be in Wisconsin if I had.
Right.
I would have been, if I would have bought a Cavalier as my first car,
Yeah.
what would my life be like?
You'd
Right.
be asking someone if they want a to-go container for their beer.
I probably
Yeah.
would have just bought a Porsche instead of a Trans Am. would have gone the other way.
Yeah. It would have been flipped.
Oh, I'm going down a weird road.
You would be a billionaire.
Yeah. we talked to a guy named Ted Parks. He started a company called Varsity Roadsters.
Okay.
And like he made his own fiberglass roadster, right? He made two of them. But it all happened. Everything fell into place because he had a first gen Corvette and happened to wreck it and saw the fiberglass construction and how easy it was to make.
Yeah.
And that just got his.
He fixed it himself.
He fixed
Yeah.
it himself, and then he eventually made his own complete fiberglass car.
Man.
And it was all because his first gen Corvette got
Yep.
wrecked. Like some lady hit it in Los Angeles or something.
Yeah, the only reason the Corvette was fiberglass is because they brought the prototype to the auto show, and it was such a success that they thought, well, we need to get this to market. We're just going to leave it as fiberglass instead of doing it out of metal like they thought.
Okay.
And yeah, now there's still some fiberglass in them, but they're
Right.
more carbon fiber and other things. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Serendipity, man.
Crazy.
You didn't get that Z24.
No.
And now you're sitting in a goddamn blanket for it.
I know. I like the lights. The mood lighting is
Costco, $35.
this is dreamy. I like it. I'm glad that it's a blanket for it. I thought that was just a...
No, we really are that dumb.
No, I
That's
like
awesome.
it. Though.
Idiots.
That's a lot of blankets too, by the way.
Thank you. Well, you know.
That's what I thought when this first started. I was like, who has this many blankets?
Yeah, that was
that they
my
don't
next question.
need for warmth.
Well, you know, you've got I've got one marriage behind me, you know. Crew stuff.
I'm still working on my first. I haven't screwed that up somehow.
I'm thankfully on the second.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's great.
I think she's great. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
Oh.
I think maybe we did a car show.
No.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk to you for another 3 hours.
I
but
know.
Yeah.
It is a school night, as they say.
It is. Yeah.
Like sh-
And I go full bore crypt keeper.
This is what happens is that I've looked over and I've noticed that Crypt Keeper has happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we got to wrap it up because
I bonked. I need some taffy. Yeah, we need like a break glass get taffy for Dave. Yeah.
I like that you have candy. You're a candy enthusiast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had 2 atomic fireballs today.
Wow.
Yeah.
for our 50th episode, we did a road trip around Colorado. We did like a
Guanella Pass,
Yes.
in Dusty Rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that when it was paved or gravel?
Paved.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was, and it had just been repaved. It was
It was
gorgeous,
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But I engineered a stop in at there's a candy store in Georgetown.
Yeah.
Like a candy museum.
And Dave was so like a kid in the candy store, a giant child in a candy store.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Well,
what we do.
outstanding. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate the time.
Oh,
and
we're
thank you
so
for coming
glad.
on.
Yeah,
I'm
you
happy to
can-
be on here. If you ever want me on again,
Absolutely.
I'll happily come back. And
Yeah, because there was stuff we wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about the kind of like the Radwood effect and all of that, like the Japanese cars that are kind of coming up in value now and all
Yeah.
that. I had planned on talking about all that. We didn't even get to it.
We don't need to shut it down. We can keep going. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, do you have a hard stop? Do you need...
No.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Radwood effect.
Okay.
Man.
How
Radwood
many
effect.
1992 Ford Probe turbos have people tried to...
We'll do that all day long.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah. Dude, did you know those had different... There was a girl in college that had one downstairs from me.
Okay.
The turbo, and they had 3 suspension settings in them.
What?
There was a soft, a normal, and a sport mode.
You're kidding
And
me.
no joke, you'd push the button, and it would change, and it was noticeable.
The
No
Probe GT
way.
was like a kind of a legit cool car.
This was the turbo, the late 80s one.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it had
That's
suspension
amazing.
settings. And I don't know what it consisted of, but
Yeah.
yeah, amazing.
Wow.
And I was just in awe because it was turbo. Anything with
Right.
a turbo was
Yeah.
fun, and you want to hear that whistle.
Oh, they were great. Yeah. Anybody with a Ford Probe, like that owned one at some point, loved it.
Yeah.
My grandparents had 2 of those.
Yeah.
Same grandparents with the Eagle, yeah. And I think at one point they had both of them at the same time. They
Swinging wildly between genres of cars.
had, yeah,
huh?
they had the
Right?
Eagle
Right?
Wow.
and the Ford Probe, and I think they both got hit. They hit deer with both of them in southeast Wisconsin.
It's what you do.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a BMW 8 Series, I think Ford Probe turbo. I know that should
yeah.
be
BMW owners would love to hear
You're
that.
not wrong about that.
right. Right?
You're absolutely right
Yeah.
about that.
No.
Tell me I'm wrong. Don't
Let's
don't
pull
at
up
me
Let's pull up the Rock Auto with BMW 8 Series
versus Ford.
Oh.
1990.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
But
catastrophic.
you were saying before we started recording that 25 years ago was 1994.
Yep.
I mean, obviously I feel old as shit.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm 41.
I'm 38, about to turn 39.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm excited. One of my friends in the Pacific Northwest is asked me to come out for a Radwood event, and I've never been to one. So
It looks amazing.
it does look amazing. Yeah. So I think I'm going to try and hit that. I think it's in July at
Yeah.
the World of Speed Museum, I think.
We need to get a Radwood Denver.
I have emailed Hagerty locally here has emailed. We've not gotten a response. My buddy,
They can't see it through the vape smoke. It's fine.
right. I think it's all going to be new Subarus and yeah. No, but I think we're a sponsor of it on a national level. So,
Okay.
but I don't know what that means about assigning new
Sure.
areas and stuff. But,
Yeah.
I mean, this would be a great place. Lots of 80s and 90s stuff is obviously still alive, and people are rocking it and have it squirreled away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably have one of the larger Saab turnouts
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
nation, because it's like a rare combination of like snowy places that don't have a lot of rust.
If
you know?
my
Yeah.
Instagram that you had up earlier, I don't
Oh, yeah,
think
yeah.
if you still have it up. There was a Saab, at the last Cars and Coffee that was awesome. Scroll down. Yeah, right there, totally.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, classic 900. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, totally. The license plate.
That was my favorite car at Lafayette Cars and Coffee.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go to Cars.
So clean. Yeah, have you guys ever been to that one?
Haven't been to Lafayette, have we?
I have. I've been to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once the weather gets great, it's it's a great turnout all the time. I mean,
Our
in
buddy Chris commented on that.
yeah. In the summer months when the weather's fantastic, I mean, they'll turn 800 to 1,000 cars.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's by far the best quality and obviously quantity as well. I mean, you
Yeah.
have your modern Subaru faction that people get uptight about, but there's always a supercar section where, a couple Countachs and Diablos, and then all the modern, there's always like 10 McLarens and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's a great mix. I mean, there's that's not it there. I was going to say there's a deuce and a half military truck that always shows up. That's not it in the back.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was there when I was
that big
there
6x6.
too. Yeah.
The kids love it, and the guy lets kids crawl all over it and stuff.
Man,
So
that's awesome.
but yeah, there's been
That's
some-
what it's all for, right?
Yeah, but no, the Radwood effect. I mean, that's got to be the hottest thing in car events right now, in my opinion.
Right.
I hope we capitalize on it. I hope we do more branding with it. But I'd love to have one here. The gentleman that originally started the Lafayette Cars and Coffee over 10 years ago, when it was just a Porsche only thing, he keeps petitioning. He's like, "Hey, look, I ran Cars and Coffee for this long. I know we can pull but he hasn't gotten any response either. From him, so,
Man.
yeah.
Huh.
But I think it would be awesome. We talked about having one at our office in Golden, a Radwood type event. But so far we haven't pinned a date down or anything. But it's something I think I need to bring up again, because I think it would be awesome and well attended.
If you want someone to bring a rusty Vivid
I was just
by,
going to say the same
Yeah.
thing.
yeah,
It's all right.
1999.
No judgment.
Yeah.
You're still in if you're in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 80. It's 80 to 99, right?
I think
Is that what
so.
it is?
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
But yeah, the car. I mean, that's the stuff that we grew up with.
Oh,
you know.
I love
So-
the aesthetic. I love the idea of what we thought the future
I
was
know.
at that time.
Right.
Right?
Well, so I think a lot of people are having this conversation of like what from when we were in high school and we were in middle school and stuff, that we were like, oh, that's the coolest thing, and now that's going to shoot up in value because we all now have disposable income.
Right.
I want to know the flip side of that. What from like my parents' generation, because they were, the classic car bubble, the muscle car bubble. Like, what from that generation is just going to collapse, right? Like, because that's coming at some point where the people who can afford those cars are going to age out of carrying.
80s and early 90s cars is our fastest growing segment at Hagerty for quote inquiries.
Okay.
And then also we just learned last year Gen X and millennials inquired about quotes more so than our target market group has in the past.
Yeah.
So the theory that people say that millennials aren't
Right.
interested in cars
Yeah.
is
BS.
Is BS.
yeah.
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 So it's interesting, and the 80s stuff seems to be going nuts in value. A lot of our what to buy articles, I think the issue before the magazine I just gave you, the January one, talks about, I think it's our top 10 list of cars to buy, and it's mostly 80s and 90s stuff that we're saying is going to make money. There's a couple new things in there. The Viper Dodge pickup truck, that SRT10 that came with the Viper motor.
I saw one of those a little bit ago.
We put that on our list of cars to buy that are going to go up in value. From the 90s, the Buick Roadmaster wagon, those monsters with the Corvette motor in them.
Yes.
Those are on the list.
Yeah, I remember Popular Mechanics had one.
Yeah.
And they did like the whole like the whole Corvette mod to it, and just like it had videos of them like pulling trailers, like crazy huge trailers up mountains.
Yeah.
Not videos, it was a magazine. Pictures. Just like, yeah. They had like the wiring harness all laid out. Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
And they're just
the Roadmaster.
land yachts with stick-on wood on the side. And
man.
I just saw one at a show recently, and I looked. Actually, it was Cars and Coffee, and I walked up to it, and I was like, "Man, that's really detailed wood laminate." And the guy's like, "No, that's all airbrushed. I took all that off and had it airbrushed."
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. I'm like, "Do you airbrush, sir?" And he goes, "Nope, I paid for it." And I was like,
Respect.
"Yeah, wow, you're heavily invested in this, sir."
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, it had the back seat in it and everything, and it had the Vista roof, the glass roof in the front.
Way.
Yeah, that
like
was an option. That was an option in the Roadmasters. You could get the little Vista dome roof in it and stuff.
So cool.
Oh, they're sweet. I'm a wagon guy too. I love anything in I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Us too. Hatchbacks and wagons, man.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, I still have not owned a legitimate first or second gen GTI, and I'm mad at myself for not owning one yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever driven a Mark One of any sort.
I've never driven a Mark I.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, look at the Vista bubble on the top.
Oh yeah,
That's so cool. Yeah.
Look at that.
Right?
The fourth picture over. Look at that.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
That wood.
It's so huge. Though.
They're so huge.
Yeah.
They're enormous.
Yeah. The last dinosaur. The beautiful.
There's like, and it's so funny too. Like some of those cars that are like coming up in value now. Like there's obviously still people who are like driving them on accident. Sort of thing.
Oh,
they got it. They inherited it. Yeah.
There's a guy down the street from me that has like a kind of ratty Jeep Wagoneer. And I'm like, oh man, you have no idea that they're worth like serious money.
I can't remember the restoration facility in Texas, but they're selling Wagoneers that they refurbish for in the $50,000-$60,000 range.
That's insane.
And those things they're terrible. Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, they look wonderful.
Oh yeah,
but they're terrible cars.
They're super cool.
They're in every 80s movie.
Right.
You know, when there's a family vacation, they're in one of those.
Yeah.
I just rewatched What About Bob, and they have one.
Oh no way. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that again.
Yeah, there's I have a client that has one that is putting a modern Hemi in it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be terrible, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, our mutual friend Chris was working on the exhaust for
I was wondering if this was the same mutual owner.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yep.
That's been in the works for a while. Get to work, Chris.
The other one that we had talked about when we saw each other before was the C4 ZR1 Corvette.
Yeah.
Which I had that on my wall when I was a kid.
I've driven one.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one with the little red stripe. Is that the 40th anniversary? The C4?
The Grand Sport, I think, is the one with the red stripe.
Okay, I've driven a Grand Sport C4.
Okay. Yeah, the ZR1 was like, that was a legit car back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, who did the engine work? Was it Lotus or something that they worked?
It wasn't.
Who? I can't remember.
I know that I remember I had a magazine where there was a Hennessy one, but that wasn't it. Because that was like the early days of Hennessy too, was that era. But yeah, I don't remember.
It's a Hagerty article.
Yeah.
The second one is that the...
Yeah.
Corvette values.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Somebody did the motor work with that. The other one from that era too, C4 era, is the Callaway.
Right.
With the twin turbo.
Yeah.
Those things were monsters.
That's what I was thinking.
That was what you thinking? Okay.
Yeah.
There was a guy selling one last year in Denver. It was a convertible.
Okay.
And I went and looked at it and drove it, and it was insane. And he had put this real sketchy roll bar in it that he had actually hole sawed through the interior panels to make it fit. Yeah, it was bad, but it was a fun car to drive.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Lotus. Yeah,
Yep.
GM's Lotus. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
4-valve engine. Wow.
Yeah, so that engine is apparently amazing.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you more about it, but
Huh.
I don't want to make.
But I bet
things
the
up.
rest of that car is not that great to drive.
No. Well, the interior. I mean, the dash is so space agey in those.
Right.
It's got the I don't know what you want to call it, the little bars that go up.
Oh yeah, like the LED,
It's like Kit from Knight Rider, but another 10 years
Right.
beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cars those are still a bargain. I mean, not necessarily the ZR1, but C4s, I mean, you can buy a good shaped CR4. I mean, they're not high performance by modern standards, but that's the other thing. Modern cars. I mean, the Demon 840 horse in a stock car, and I mean the new. They haven't posted I don't think the horsepower numbers for the new GT500, but they're saying over 700 horse, and the new Vets, the ZR1 Vet is 775. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
People say the muscle car era.
Much.
We're in it now. We're in the muscle car era now.
Right.
It is. It is too much. Like
it is.
We've talked about this before because we drove the Hellcat wide body.
Yep.
And we also drove like C63 and like some 500 horsepower cars. Like
and the BMW M5
and the M5. Jesus Christ, that M5.
the brand new one.
But the M5 has
I haven't driven that yet.
100 horsepower less than the Hellcat.
Yeah.
It is way faster on the street. Way faster.
Oh yeah. We were doing the speed
Some
limit,
speed.
right? Which was
in Mexico.
rhymes with schmevendy, right? On a really ratty road, and like I covered the speedometer and asked everyone in the car what we were doing.
Yeah,
no one came within 20 miles of what we were doing.
The M5 is otherworldly.
Yeah,
I drove the Alpha Quadrifoglio. I got to drive it to and from Aspen in a weekend.
Really? Did you, Eric? You got to drive it?
God, dude, why'd you bring this one up? So what happened? We were at a press event.
Nope. I get to tell it because I didn't get to drive it. We were at a Rocky Mountain Automotive press event out at High Plains Raceway where we got to do a cool thing. We got to do a track part of the day and an off-road part of the day. So we got to drive like a Ram Power Wagon, like in 4 low, like hammer down.
Out there?
Yeah, there was an off-road park.
Off-road
nearby.
park, maybe like...
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that place. I've never been there.
Yeah.
Though. Okay.
But one of the cars we got to drive on the track was Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio, right?
Yeah.
Giulia Quadrifoglio, right? Ian takes a turn, right? Driving it. I'm in the back seat. Got the gentleman from Alfa in the front, right? I'm getting tossed around in the back seat. He's hitting the paddle shifters. It's got the carbon ceramic brakes.
Oh, yeah.
He's just hammering them. It brakes so hard, it hurts your body, right? We go to pit it in. It's out of gas. And I don't get to drive it.
Because then it was lunchtime.
Ian, what's the best car you've ever driven in your life?
It's that one. I love that car so much.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I didn't get to drive it because this floppy-haired bastard over here ran it out of gas. I still haven't driven one.
But I drove it back to back with the C63.
Yeah, you keep saying we.
AMG
To console you, though, I just recently learned that the serpentine belt, not the timing belt, because it has a timing chain, apparently.
Okay.
The serpentine belt is a 36,000-mile wear item that you have to change. And it is engine out.
Yes. No.
Yes.
For the serpentine belt.
Yes. I was just told this by the Alpha guy over in Erie.
No.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a Ferrari
Alpha,
motor.
you crazy for this one.
Crazy for this. Alpha, you do Alpha. There's like 10 different fonts on the inside of that car because nobody thought about making it all look the same.
Yeah, so we got to drive we both drove the 2-liter all-wheel drive model.
I've not driven that.
That's amazing.
It's really great.
It's great.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah,
but like
not as good as a Quadrifoglio.
It's not. No.
Death stare.
But like if you spend time in the
breaking right now.
if you spend time like in the interior of that car, it's crazy that the number of fonts that are in nothing matches. Yeah. The build quality is terrible, but I want one.
Yeah. When I went and picked it up from the dealer, I was gonna bring it to. I had to bring it to Aspen.
Oh no!
For a vintage race that they were doing, and it was going to be their pace car.
Oh, that's.
And they said we have no one to drive it, and my hand went.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, who are the other idiots that don't want to drive this? Because, I mean, I don't really want to take my 16 Explorer to Aspen. That doesn't sound
and be
fun.
the pace car.
Right. Duh. Yeah, you guys are going to destroy this. So the dealership locally that will go remain nameless had put his logo all over it, and his name, and I drove it like a complete asshole the whole weekend. I mean, we were on, going down towards Independence Pass, and I was in race mode the whole time.
Yeah.
Which I was specifically told not to put it in race mode because that turns everything off and you'll die. And I was like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But all the gauges turn red and the exhaust gets louder. Why wouldn't I have it in race all the time?
It does move around a lot under.
Oh, yeah.
Like it'll move under braking.
It scooted around under braking.
Yeah, it
was entertaining in the back seat.
But like it moved around a lot, but it was still confidence inspiring.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like a magical combination.
I agree. And the brakes.
The brakes were amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like and especially like we had 4 laps in it. So like, which isn't like an ideal way to learn a car.
Right.
Because you're like, okay, get in.
You had 4 laps in it.
4 laps.
Dave had 0.
Well, you had 4 laps in the back seat.
36,000-mile serpentine belt. All right.
The next time we get like the crazy car that we both are salivating over,
Yeah.
I'm just going to make you not drive it.
Anyway, but like after about a lap, the brake kind of came up to temp.
Uh-huh.
And they were
Oh,
just,
yeah.
oh God, the pedal feel was great.
The guy kept telling you to brake harder. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't
Right.
brake as hard as it could go. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
and I don't think I got into ABS the whole time.
No.
Like, and I was hitting the brakes
yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a ton of fun.
That is an amazing car.
36,000 mile serpentine
That's
belt.
crazy.
And I would not. I mean, I did not fact check this myself,
Right.
but
But that's believable though.
I was staring at one last week
Yeah.
in this dealership, and he told me,
Yeah.
he goes, it's surprisingly affordable. He goes, I don't think they're making any money on that service, but
Right.
yay, Ferrari for your motor that's in it. I mean, that's what he told me. He goes, it's a Ferrari motor with 2 cylinders
Yep.
chopped off and
Yeah.
2 turbos.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the right way to do it, in my opinion.
I would
sounds
agree.
so good.
We are at elevation. We need force induction.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Although we drove the
Carbon-
Grand Sport
Yeah.
Carbon Edition.
It was the Carbon 65 or something like
Okay.
that
Yeah.
Corvette.
I've seen them. I've not driven one.
I cannot fathom why someone would get out of that car and be like, yeah, you know what? I need the Z06.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It
like,
accelerated so hard it almost gave us both a concussion when our heads hit the rear bulkhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. And
Yeah.
and we were at 10,000 feet.
Yeah, we were in Estes. Yeah.
We were in
Oh,
Estes
really?
Park
Yeah.
when we drove it.
Yeah,
And
why would you want more than that?
it
That's
was
like
too
that's like
much.
carrying
Yeah.
2 loaded guns around versus one.
Because America. That's why.
America.
That's right.
Well, then we drove the Hellcat up there, and it was like, oh, okay, I understand why, because we just did burnouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible to make a Challenger video without burnouts? I'm
No.
convinced, whether it's Hellcat or Demon.
No.
And then now they're doing this crate motor that you can get from
Yeah.
the Elephant motor
Uh-huh.
that's 1,000 horsepower,
Yeah.
which,
You could give one of those cars to my mother to drive and she would do a burnout.
right, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
yeah.
best. Yeah.
America.
Yep.
That's not my choice in a car, but you know,
Yeah, it's
they're real heavy at every car show.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
Hellcats, and I get it.
What's it going to be like 25 years from now, though? Because you have that vision where you're looking at it not just from today's lens, but from the collector lens down the road.
I mean, we're writing them. I mean, they're collectible already. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
limited production.
right. But how's everything in it going to hold up in
I don't
25
know.
years?
Good luck finding an unmolested one that hasn't had the crap kicked out of it.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It'll be on Bring a Trailer for some ridiculous
Right?
amount of money.
It'll be that and like
Yeah.
a Nissan 240 going for like 6 figures.
Yeah, what was that 240? Wasn't there just a 240 that sold on Bring a Trailer for some?
It was, yeah, because it had like it was like 6,000
Yeah.
miles or something, yeah.
I saw one with front end damage, and I almost offered the guy walking to it. I was like, "Can I
Right.
please have that for $1,000?"
They're great
Yeah.
cars too.
Yeah.
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 Oh, well.
Yeah. 90s, man.
The one that the current era one that I think is like really could go either way is the Alfa Romeo 4C.
Oh.
Like, is that gonna be worth anything 20 years from now, or are people just gonna look at that back then like, what the
Is
hell
it going to
was
be
that?
like a DeLorean?
You're right, yeah.
Right?
I think it's really.
I don't know.
I think I haven't driven one. I just got offered
haven't-
to drive one, and I need to.
Yeah,
to take
you
that
need
gentleman
to.
up. But they look
they look amazing.
fantastic,
Like little spaceships.
Yeah,
But they're
Like
so
Flight of the
strange.
Navigator.
They're
Yeah.
so strange.
Yeah.
Although maybe that's what it is. Maybe like in 25 years, like there's no way anyone's gonna buy that as their car.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so like as a collector car.
Well, I think
it'll
it's an
be-
instant fun car. I mean, I don't think there's many people dailying those except for the. I don't know.
I mean, that's what they were going after. They were going after the Boxster and the
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and like
yeah, but
people
they're
daily the Boxster.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
But
they're cool. The first time I was behind one, I couldn't believe how wide they are.
yeah.
They're huge.
They're so strange, and they're
And
like
so low.
The proportion when you really start to like get up close to them and like really take them in, they're very strange.
Yeah.
You know, because they are low and but stubby at the same time.
Yeah, because when I was at that Alpha dealer not dealer, they're an aftermarket. I just saw one last week, and he offered to let me drive it.
You should absolutely take them up.
I've always wanted to drive.
They had one sitting on the show floor
Yep.
at Denver Auto Show. Yeah.
What? That's another thing. Is our Denver Auto Show getting weaker and weaker every year?
So, yes, it is. Watch our French film about what it's like to cover the auto show as an automotive journalist.
Okay.
Because I come from two regional markets.
Right.
I moved from Kansas City, another regional auto show, to
Right.
here. I've never been to like a good auto show.
The Minneapolis Auto Show when I was a kid had rooms. I mean, you would go floors and rooms, and I mean, it wasn't a Detroit or an LA
Sure.
or anything like that. I've never been to one of those, but the first time I came here and went to the Denver Auto Show, I was like, what?
So, guess who wasn't there this year at the Denver Auto Show? Cadillac.
Yep.
No Cadillacs whatsoever.
No Mercedes.
No Mercedes.
Yeah.
No Infiniti. They sell 1 million Infinitis in Denver. Everybody's got a QX
Porsche.
bullshit.
Yeah, no
Porsche. Right? I don't know what it was. If people just thought it wasn't worth their time. Yeah.
And they had Porsche last year
Yep.
and Cadillac 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they had, a large GM presence.
Oh,
other
yeah.
than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
GM and Ford and
Everybody was talking about tailgates this year, and that was about it. Yep. Bluetooth speakers in your tailgate.
that's the thing.
Yep.
GMC.
GMC.
Yeah. It's a weird market too, because like I think people like it's almost like we have like a cartoonish view of Denver
Yeah.
in the automotive industry, because like every time we meet industry people, they're always talking about very lifestyle-y, like everyone kayaks and all
Yep.
that sort of bullshit.
Absolutely, and it's all-wheel drive, and
and everyone's talking. They want to talk to you about the RAV4 and shit. And it's like there are enthusiasts here,
Yeah.
too, and like kind of a lot of them.
we've got a crazy landscape in Denver.
Yeah.
And we have a year. I mean, you can drive your enthusiast car year round.
Yeah.
You
And
just
not
gotta-
worry about rust.
Yeah, you got to pick your spots. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I put a set of studded tires on my M45 year round.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that blows
Slowest
my mind.
donuts in the world.
You're
Hilarious.
still doing donuts, man. Yeah, doesn't matter.
But how many like Nissan GTR 34s
Oh, yeah.
have you insured here?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And that's the hard one for us, because we got to determine if it's a daily or if it's
Right.
pleasure use.
Right, exactly.
Because we don't do daily stuff.
Right,
We don't
exactly.
have a program for that.
Yeah,
That's what
we've
regular
got
insurance is
weird
for.
stuff here. Yeah.
Huh.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a weird interaction, I feel like, between the car industry and this region.
I feel like the outside world or just like manufacturers just view us as the land of Subarus and all-wheel drive cars, and that's what they're going to move here, right? But really, like, I've seen an Enzo on the street. I've seen Aventadors on the street. Like, yeah, and the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. So, like, it's a varied landscape.
Someone's
Denver.
in Denver dailying the Oscar.
Now, if you get to insure that would be awesome, and I need to drive it.
I mean, if someone owned one, I'm sure we could.
Oh my God, can I buy
As long as it wasn't still, being used commercially. Yeah, we could do it.
Ian, could you crash your R32 into it, and then I'll buy a salvage Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? Yeah.
I'll crash the Saab into it instead.
Yeah.
Kill
No.
two birds with one
Yeah,
stone.
no, that poor R32. We need keep that. I love that car.
We do. It's great. I love it. The first time Ian and I met, my wife at the time and his wife were in like a riding thing together, and so like we got set up on the friend date, right? And then like we walk to the parking garage, and like he sees my stupid Saab, and I see his R32, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be friends.
Yep. I've said that to people before about their car.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And even the other thing I tell people too is I am terrible with names. Absolutely terrible.
Okay.
But if you tell me what you have, or if I see
Yeah.
what you have, I've lived in the same house for 10 years. I don't know the majority of my neighbors' names, but I know where that gray Toyota Sienna goes. and
Exactly.
where it lives and who drives it.
Yep, right.
I'm not a Sienna enthusiast.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
However,
Yeah.
I know where it lives.
Right.
And I know the woman that drives it.
Right.
Do not know her name.
Right.
Hey, you, Sienna.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, what?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's my jam.
That's hey.
Being in sales and not knowing names, it works out really well.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yep. Yeah. Ian?
Dave, I also have to pee, which
Okay,
is my
so-
other motivation
Okay.
for wrapping it up.
We did a car show.
We did a car show.
So if people want Hagerty insurance, what do? They call.
They can call us.
They go to the website.
Yeah, the 800 number. They can call us. We're open 7 days a week, and someone will quote something or answer questions over the phone. They can go on the website, quote it themselves, or they can reach out to me. I don't get paid commission, so I'm just the figurehead,
Nice.
the egg-shaped figurehead for Hagerty in Northern Colorado.
That's awesome.
But just give us a ring or quote something online, and if you have questions, please let us know, and we're happy to talk cars. There's one thing that we do, and it's cars. We don't do any homeowners insurance. We don't do life insurance. We like to think that we're experts in this space. So any questions anyone has, please reach out to me or to anyone at Hagerty, and we're happy to run down and answer for you or talk cars with you all day.
Yeah.
Since I just ran your podcast really long, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
This is the best. This is what it's for.
You can edit it all out, all the
Nope.
goofy stuff.
Nope. Stay it in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't edit anything really.
No.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
Well, thanks again, and we will definitely have you back on to do
Please.
another, I'm going to guess, 4-hour podcast.
Okay. I'd love to. You guys are outstanding. Great. Keep up the great work. I really like it.
No, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Yeah.
You and 6 other people agree.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Yep.
Thanks.
Woo!
I need to hydrate. That was a long show.
Yeah, but the time flew.
It really did.
We had a fantastic time talking to Eric. Eric, you are welcome back in the blanket fort anytime.
Anytime. I'm sure 0 people are listening at this stage of the podcast. However, check out the price tool.
Oh, all the stuff
valuation
on
tool on
Hagerty's
Hagerty.
website. Yeah, the vehicle valuation tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just look him up on the old Instagrams. You saw that on the YouTubes.
Yep. When your 1992 Geo Metro,
Yes.
when you want to insure that and prove that it's a collectible vehicle, because that one guy from Anthrax, Scott Ian with the beard, he owned it at one point.
Oh.
And you can prove it.
Yeah.
You want Hagerty to insure it? Give him a call.
I love it.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you like this nonsense, teamclearcoat.com has the particulars. We're on the social medias. All of that.
If you see something crazy out there, you should call the hotline. We have quite the hotline queued up for episode 191.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's gonna get real.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this was episode 190.
Yeah.
And there are things happening, maybe,
For episode 200.
perhaps. So keep your ears open. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm
Follow
saying
us
anymore.
on Twitter. We'll if you like us, you'll find out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, everyone.
Yes.
Goodbye.